a systematic slow cooking beatdown from Leon Edwards to Colby Covington. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the StayWeighedIn podcast. It's been a while, but we're back and we're talking all things UFC with my man Ray. How you doing?
I'm tired. One last late night for the year, and it was worth it, man. It was
Yeah,
worth it. What about yourself?
I'm the same, but I think normally I wake up tired. I woke up semi-tired, like I'm a bit refreshed about this, so I'm,
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm good to go. I'm good to go.
Good results do that. Good results do
Yeah,
that.
let's do that. Well, let's go straight into it then, because like I said, just at the top of the show, it felt like Leon Edwards beat Colby Covington in a slow cooking beatdown. I had my certain reservations about the fight, I won't lie. But then when I saw what he did in the press conference, and I was like, that's just a woken up a sleeping lion if there ever was a time to do it. But talk to me about the fight itself and how it progressed for you in terms of, is this what you expected, or were you surprised with how slow Colby was? What kind of stood out to you in this particular fight?
Listen, man, I told you, lot, and this ain't just to you. This is to all the other group chats, and they kept on saying, "Well, Kobe," but I said Leon is the guy now. You know what's that film? Like, look at me. I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
Leon is the guy now. You guys better stop playing with him. I don't know how many times I need to say this. Stop playing with Leon. He's the guy. And I feel like I didn't expect the fight to go that way per se. Obviously, the first two rounds, it was like, is Kobe really not going to go for a takedown? I think he went for one takedown, and it was like a half-ass takedown, and Leon easily shrugged it off. But I also think it was like discerning to Kobe, where it was just like, they still have this. I think they still have a stereotype that these Brits don't work on wrestling or they're not good at it. And I think all these like, oh, he's NCAA this and
He's got
wrestling
the
that.
accolades.
Brother,
Yeah.
that was over a decade ago, man. Let it go. You sound like them losers that keep on telling you about their high school careers, bro. The guy was wrestling over a decade ago. Yeah, yes, the accolades are there, but it's like, brother, you're more than a decade into your career. Yeah? You can't keep on talking about the NCAA that you won when you was in your early 20s and you're like mid-30s now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, yes, it demonstrates you got a wrestling background, but it doesn't guarantee that wrestling's gonna work in MMA because boy, we've seen Henry Cejudo got a gold medal in wrestling and he still got taken down by Aljamain. He still got taken down by Mighty Mouse. I don't know. Cejudo's still great in his own right. But anywho, no, shout out Leon. I was saying like in one of my group chats, one of my friends was just talking about why don't they think Kobe's doing what he normally does. I said one, because now what one of the previous theories was that Kobe's record looked greater than it actually was because he fought names that some of them are retired, some of them aren't even ranked at welterweight no more. And was it Robbie Lawler, Masvidal, both retired. RDA was basically a lightweight who didn't want to cut weight, but kudos. And then Damian Myers, another one, retired. And it's just like you looked impressive against guys that weren't at their peak. And then when you did face someone at your peak, you lost to them twice with being in Usman. So your legacy is basically losing in a great match against Usman. That's his legacy. And I think Leon went in there, and I think he said it in his post-fight interview where it was just like, everyone's talking about cardio this, cardio that. It's like distance measurement. He just kept him like, he was switching stances. He came out orthodox, even though he's southpaw. Went southpaw, his leg got absolutely chewed up by the end of the systematic breakdown, or even like you said, pre-production. The slow cooking of Colby was amazing to watch, and all these people that was calling it boring, shut the f up. Was it the most exciting? No, but was it entertaining? Yes, because it wasn't like Woodley and Stephen Thompson, where it was just like very few punches were thrown and he was just out there defending. And do you get what I'm saying? That for me is boring because yes, you need to stop people from getting to you, but then his offense wasn't there. Leon's offense was there, but he was just smart. Like, why is he gonna go in there and be reckless against a guy like that? Even though he may not rate Kobe as highly, but he's still smart enough to know I can't be an idiot and go in there and be reckless. And he done what he done.
I was going to say one thing you touched on throughout that was wrestling. Uh, I think what we're seeing with Leon, especially in this fight, was we expected Colby to be the wrestler, but we didn't expect Leon to engage with that. He's now fought Kamaru Usman twice. He's fought Colby. Both have wrestling backgrounds. Are we seeing an evolution of a fighter who's now been able to take striking as his strength, incorporate wrestling as a secondary, and basically become arguably the most complete fighter the UFC has at this moment in time? And on top of that, 13-fight win streak.
Come on, man. You see hey, Brumtown, stand up, man. Don't play with my guys, man.
North of England. Let's run North of England.
Hey, come on, man. You see, hey, West Midlands, stand up. But I think, like Leon was saying, he's a mixed martial artist. All this thing of like, all these people just saying he's a striker. Like, he came into the game doing everything. So he's prepared. Is he going to be the outright best wrestler? Maybe not. But guess what? You go in there as a complete guy, and with your distance measurement and with the like intricate movements that he understands between getting the right balance of striking and wrestling. And then you saw what happened. And I think he took down Colby. I think Colby took him down, and then I think he took him back down, right back, just to prove a point of, listen, no one will shut you down on striking, but I can do your game as well, just because. And I love the fact that he done that. And even like before the match, he was saying, listen, you went to war with Usman, you got finished once, and then you bowed out the second time, and neither time could you drop him or could you take him down. I've done both. And then he went into this fight, obviously because of the comments. He said his team and his mum got him to come to a better place. And then he went in there and executed, and thank goodness, like, don't get tricked out of your position. And he just put in a wonderful performance. Could there be places where he improves? Of course, but that's like with anyone. But I was so happy to see that. And I know he's probably got Bilal Muhammad next, but the way he's handled Usman and Colby, I know that Leon's more than ready for Bilal.
I was going to say, you kind of touched on what he has next. In terms of for the UFC now, should they basically, again, we've said it before, we said it again, the next fight has to be in the UK. Should it be in the UK? What's the strategy with Leon going forward? I don't need to see him all the time in the UK, but whilst he's on this run, I think he's 5 or 6 behind John Jones's win streak in the UFC. I don't think he'll get to that, but that's a conversation if he ever did. Whilst it's going on, should they push him to have one main title fight in the UK?
Here's the thing. At first, I said yes, but then they were saying, I think the landmark event UFC 300 is coming up, and I think he's, by the sound of it, he wants to fight on that card, and he wants not a too quick a turnaround, but I think that'll probably be a good turnaround for him because I believe that's April. So if they do a big,
the only problem is if he fights Bilal, it's unlikely because of Ramadan.
Oh wait, when's Ramadan?
That would be in April. That would hit, I want to say, back end of March.
Oh,
like April.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only slippy slide there.
Because he definitely ain't gonna do. I know UFC go to Miami in March, and I don't think Leon probably now because it's like going back to pack camps. Because what? Let's say this is late December or mid-December. Probably gonna take 2 weeks off. Then I can't imagine him doing like
a full camp. What?
A full camp.
Yeah.
So January and February and then March. I can't imagine that. So, but it depends. Bilal might still just go through it. I know. What did Devin Haney do when he had the fight with Lomachenko? Because I know sometimes they won't do Ramadan, but then they'll do like
fast afterwards. Yeah. Because they've got reasons against it. So yeah, that can potentially be done. But yeah, just touch on 300. Then you were saying that's what you see as potential the spot for him going forward. Then.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll just listen, man. If he's not gonna fight in the UK, I think UFC 300 would be a good shout. Hopefully, Bilal gets the title shot he deserves. F Colby as a staff record label and a mother effing crew. If you're down with Colby, then F you too. Were to hit him up. So listen, man, F that guy, man. What a disgusting human being, bro. And it's like you done all those gimmicks, all of that crap, and you weren't even good at trash talking. It was just shock value. You done all of that just not to win the title.
No, but do you know what was funny about this whole shit that he did.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've seen the audio where it says, "I was in character."
Oh yeah. But he's done that before. That's the funny thing. And the American fans that eat it up here. Do you know what's funny?
To a point, because I was gonna say you even got these American fans. I always say this, right? Why are you chanting USA? We don't say UK. Like we know you're from the US. It means
Some of
nothing.
them, yeah, are the most easy. Just like they just eat everything up. Like get off your knees and wipe your mouth. Like, and the funny thing is, after all of that, they turned them in, and he told them to go f themselves. So I said, look at that, all that bloody dick sucking. That part of my language, all that dick sucking that all those fans were doing when he was chatting rubbish. Yeah, just for him to dish you back, you idiots. Because I was just like, why would you chant for something like that? And furthermore, because there's more fans that are trying to justify, oh yeah, all's fair in like love and war, whatever. But I said, there's a difference between cool. If you start building up to that, then fair enough. It's like you went straight there for shock value, especially the fact that I believe no, Leon was literally talking about fighting. He's talking about getting knocked out. And then Colby done those stupid lines that, because he's not good at trash talking, so he does like rehearse lines. He even got the line messed up. He said hair instead of hell. I'm like, look, like, it's the worst, most deplorable trash talk ever. Like, why are people get entertained by this? Like, you need to check yourself. And then seeing so many people try to justify it, yeah, but it was a fight, bun it. You gotta do what you gotta do. And it's just like, brother, there's levels and there's a line to cross. And he crossed that line. And I'm so happy that Leon put him in his place. And then for all those people that are just like, oh, he's in his head, look what happened. And then you start going back on, it's just there's some nasty people
One
out
thing,
there that
one thing
Kobe
before
this
we just quickly touch on like the core main and other factors,
hmm.
gotta give a lot of credit to Leon's team because he said he goes, I was hot headed when I went back. They cooled me down, and I was there. I was back focused. And I think when you have a team like that, we've seen it before, even in the Kamaru Usman fight, where the first one where he wins, they were basically telling him what he needed to hear, not what he wanted to
Yeah.
hear. In this particular fight, the build up, him alluding to the fact that okay, when I was hot headed or whatever, but when I went back, they cooled me down and stuff. I think having that type of team around you rather than a yes man team, which I think a lot of guys will have 100% because
Yeah.
they had the paychecks for them, is super important as well in this sport.
No, I'm glad you said that because I feel like the team that Leon's cultivated in Brum, obviously he's got his own personal. I think he's got some of the coaches he has are people that he works with personally, but then also Team Renegade as well in Brum is like what they've done is exceptional, especially the fact that he came from the old school teachings of, oh yeah, once you get to a certain level, go to America. He did go to America. He realized they're saying all that. Yeah, and like he came back and it was just like cool, cultivate what he needed to do here, and he's done it big time. And I want to give him more of a shout out because I think I spoke about this straight after the fight, and I believe I thought I was the only one that clocked this, but Ariel Hawani also sent out a tweet, and I realized I'm not going crazy. The way they were kind of talking down on Leon was pissing me off near the end. When especially DC, and I like DC, but just because I like someone, I don't have to agree with everything they say.
No fair.
And when he was talking about, oh, he should take more risk and this, that, and the third, and I get it from the side of he wants Edwards to be a bigger star. However, in a fight like that, when you're systematically breaking someone down, why? And the reason I go into that even more is because there's a difference between being boring, like I said, the Woodley and Wonderboy too, and then there's systematic breakdown, which Edwards done, because like why take there's a certain level of risk that you need to take, which I feel like Edwards took enough, but he didn't need to go out there and be stupid. And it's like, why would you encourage someone to do that? Because look what happened to Usman when he had a minute to go. All you had to do was negate risk. You wanted to keep on going for it. Bam, headshot, dead. And look where we are now. And especially it was a bit funny because then DC compared him to the great Lennox Lewis, and he goes, "Yeah, Lennox also had a thing before where it was just like he negated risk." And but I said, "Fair enough." But Lennox Lewis was also one of the greatest heavyweights ever. So shout out for the comparison. They're both Brits, both great, both Jamaican ethnicity or heritage, shall I say? And if Leon becomes the Lennox Lewis of the UFC or welterweight division, more power to him, because I just felt like that type of comparison, it sounded more like it was just passive aggressive, man. It sounded like American elitism, like, yeah, well, if you're really great, you should do this. And I'm just like, for what reason? Why? Why get tricked out of your position? Especially when it's not like you're being boring. He's doing the right thing. And then the funny thing is, then he did take the risk of going for the triangle, which I personally feel like, and Leon's probably going to kick himself for it. He rushed it a bit because he wanted to get the finish. Because I feel like the position was there, and then he might have
There's
missed
a
the step.
little bit of excitement that
Yeah,
how
yeah.
this,
Because it
even
was
when you
tight. It was
yeah,
tight a second, and I feel like he's probably going to kick himself for rushing it. But then, funnily enough, then he does that. He takes that supposed risk, and then they're criticizing him for it. I'm just like, you lot, what do you want? Because you lot are the same ones that are criticizing him, yeah, for not taking risk, yeah. But were you lot not the one also rubbing him out in the 5th round when he won the belt, saying, "Rah, I think he's given up. He's gonna go for the moral victory." And you get what I'm saying? You lot keep on being on the wrong side of history, chatting rubbish on Leon. And I know it's not coming from a spiteful place, but I don't know where it's coming from. That they always like have this weird comment for Leon. It's like these backhanded compliments, and then he proves you wrong. Because guess what? You literally remember the when he knocked out Usman, they literally said he looks
whoa.
like he's given up. And shout out John Anik, because he was the one who goes, "Nah, Leon's not from that class." Bam, head kick, dead. We already know the story. So I just feel like Leon is too smart of a fighter to be going out there. Don't take stupid risk. And guess what? If you're gonna make a Lennox Lewis comparison, yeah, what a compliment it is. Even if you didn't mean it that way, what a compliment, because that's one of the best heavyweights ever. One of the best combatants in his sport, period. And then you want to compare him like it's an insult to say, oh, but maybe he might not be the biggest star, but guess what? What Leon does have is a fan base that many people don't. He's got a nation behind him that many people don't. So you can keep on saying that, oh, he may not be as big a star, quote unquote. But listen, man,
I'm gonna ask you
guy's a
something
star.
quickly. And I just want like a semi-short answer here.
Mhm.
Which fighter do you think resonates with British MMA fans more? Bisping or Leon Edwards?
At this point, Leon, only because, but it's like generation. I think Biz being passed the baton on. Actually, I wouldn't even say he passed the baton on to. Will I? I don't think.
He set the foundations to be like,
Yeah, he said. I think that's good. I don't know who I'd say he passed the baton onto, but because I feel like Leon, between Leon and Bisbing, I feel like there's a generation just before them two that
Darren
was
Till,
like the early
Darren,
2010s. I don't
because
think it's Darren Till. Nah, Darren Till, because I feel like Darren Till and Leon are the same generation. I'm talking about shout, if you know, you know, like Rough House. So that's like Dan Hardy,
yeah,
Jimmy Woolhead, Paul Daly, Jason Shotgun Young. That generation of early 2010s British MMA fighters. Then the generation of like the Leon and the Darren Till came. But I
yeah.
feel like
Dan Hardy actually fought.
This thing was just a bit weird because he done it in America, but I also understand at the time MMA wasn't as, like you said, because he set the foundation. MMA wasn't as big in the UK for him to do what he needed to do. So obviously he went to America. Whereas because he set that foundation, as years gone by, you're gonna have more people invested, and that's what Leon has now capitalized on, is the fact that there's more people into the martial arts, and then right timing for him, he's able to build his team in Brum. And shout out the whole Renegade Tom Breeze as well, and all of those guys there. And yeah, listen, man.
It's tricky, it's funny you said Dan Hardy because as much as what Bisping did and won the belt, Dan Hardy actually being the first British guy, I believe, fought for the belt for a world
Yeah,
title.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Just came up short there. But just want to quickly gloss over some of the other results on the card. So we had Pantoja versus Royval rematch.
Guys, a tank.
How do you, what happened in this fight that it came up with expectations for something, but it felt so one-sided that was the strategy wrong? What happened here? Because Pantoja just cruised it until the fifth round.
Royval needs to go watch what Leonid was done with Colby and learn how to use your reach. I felt like, excuse me, he felt. Do you know what it reminded me of? Aljamain Sterling in this first fight with Peter Yan, where it's just like you've got physical advantage, and I don't know whether it's nerves or whatever, you're not using it as much as you should. So I think Aljamain and Leon is two fighters that Royval should look at for how they transform themselves after title fights. Well, especially Aljamain, because he went into the second Peter Yan fight, looked amazing and utilized what he has. And the same way in this fight with Colby, Leon just went in there and he utilized what he has. And I feel like Royval, he had opportunities in the fight and he just didn't use it. And it's like his punch from range were a bit flimsy. He didn't have like power in it.
I was gonna say it came to the fifth round where it felt like he got the same talking that someone like Leon did against Kamaru. It was like, oh wait, I'm gonna engage with that. And you can see Pantoja was tired and he was clipping him, and it was a case of bit too late type of thing. And I think there was watching he gets him, but he falls back, and bam, Pantoja goes in, works against the cage, and it's just a repeat.
To be fair, Pantoja is a tank. My goodness, some of the takedowns I saw Pantoja doing, I was just like, he's going in there like a tank. Is like the moment he wants to go for that takedown, boom, like you're not stopping him. And it hurts me because Brandon Moreno is my guy, but it's gonna take something special to beat Pantoja. So we'll see how Brandon Moreno looks in his next fight, and then
And just quickly, it doesn't take something special to beat this guy, which is sad to say, but 7 losses in a row. The majority of the last few have been beatdowns. Dana's alluded to it. Is it time to say Tony Ferguson just retire now?
it's been time. And
yeah, it's been time. But like, is there a realization for Tony now to be like, I need to?
I think Tony is the type of guy you have to force him, because he has what makes some fighters great is their delusion. But when the delusion is working right for them, it's all good. When the delusion is working wrong for them, this is when you have to save them for themselves. And don't get me wrong, I can't lie, I was rooting against Tony because I didn't like how he conducted himself in the pre-fight presser. I just felt like you came across a bit like a cuck for Colby as well, because Colby even insulted him. But because of America, like he was just like, oh yeah, I'm backing your team. It's like, stand up, man, and wipe your mouth. It's nasty.
I think if he's got CTE, it's already hit him, because this guy.
Oh, he's been at. Listen, I don't want to make fun of no one's. I don't want to. I don't want to come across like I'm making fun of someone's mental health. The guy has not been correct for a while. Let's be honest. I'm not trying to be like I said. I'm not trying to joke about stuff like that.
Like my brother said, he goes, "What's David Gocky's going to do in his corner?" Like, what does that even?
YouTube, I'm like, this ain't no YouTube motivational video. Rise it, bruv. Like, what are you doing? Do you know what? But I kind of get it, because it's kind of like 6 fight losing streak. You're trying to find something there to get you through that threshold. Don't get me wrong. Tony showed. I think the issue as well is Tony also shows glimpses of greatness, because even in the fight, he was showing glimpses of like certain things he still got. But man, it's done. And I'm so glad Paddy got the win, because but then also Paddy as well.
You finish the fight off a bit. Come on.
No, not even the finish. The not getting the finish is fine, but him like gassing out by round 2.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think I don't know if he broke his nose, but the nose was an issue. So, but Paddy's got some improvement to do to crack that top 15, because you can't fight like that. But it's in him to do it. So hopefully we'll see. But by the looks of that fight, especially when you see how the other like elite lightweights have been dealing with Tony Ferguson, when I looked at Paddy, I was kind of just like, you need to step up a gear skill-wise. because he's still keeping his chin up. But listen, man, a win's a win. He's coming off operation. He's coming off a much criticized fight with I know his surname's Gordon. I forgot his first name. So listen, man, keep on trucking Paddy, and yeah, we keep moving forward.
And with that, we are going to wrap up today's videos. As always, guys, we've had a little bit of a break. We're going to be a bit more consistent. New plans for 2024 coming through as well. But if you enjoy the content, drop a like, share, subscribe, all that good things. Until next time, stay weighed in.
Bow.